All right, welcome in hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. As you can see behind me, we're back at our familiar spot at College Bar and Grill for Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. I'm looking around this place. It's filling up. I got a feeling that college is finally in session here. Okay, where do we start? Record-setting temperatures of 113 plus today here in the Valley, but ice-cold hockey is upon us. We went through the whole gamut of ACHA D1 teams. We went to Grand Canyon. We went to Tucson. We went to Vegas. Today, it's all maroon and gold as we're talking Sun Devil ACHA D1 hockey. We got a couple of player guests with us, John Studioso and goaltender Bronson Moore. We're also going to visit with the head coach, TAIT GREEN, for a couple of segments. So we're coloring this one all maroon and gold, folks, as I anticipate one of the very best in ACHA D1 seasons that we've experienced, if not the best, in the Desert Southwest. We're going to take another quick break. We're going to be right back in, and we'll have TAIT GREEN join us, and he'll talk a little bit about his upcoming season and the tryouts that are about to happen here as school gets underway at Arizona State University. All right, welcome back in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. We're here at College Bar and Grill. We set a record in temperature today. I've been saying all year long that this is going to be the best ACHA D1 season in the Desert Southwest in the history. We've got 4 teams. We've been to 3 different places now. We started at Grand Canyon. We went to Tucson. We went to Vegas. Now we're back here where we all belong, right? Arizona State. We got maroon and gold. It's going to be an all-night show. We got a couple of great guests. Joining us right now is the head coach, TAIT GREEN. So first of all, TAIT, welcome back in.
Thanks for having me, Scott. Happy to be here.
All right, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. You got tryouts coming up this weekend and a little bit of a training camp, if you will, and then it's all for real, right?
Yep. We had a conditioning camp this last week. We brought in Mark Ciaccio from the New York Rangers, and he gave us a great couple workouts there, and we'll start off with tryouts Thursday night.
All right, when I look at things on paper, I just made a little preview announcement that this might be the best season yet for ACHA D1 hockey as far as balance across the board. I think you guys might have the best 4 teams that the West has seen ever. Your thoughts?
You know, I guess I don't know. I mean, there's obviously an opportunity for that. U of A is established being extremely strong. UNLV is established that they're extremely strong, and it's my turn to make sure we're back in that mix. Whatever GCU does, they do. It doesn't bother me either way.
All right, so let's jump into what your team is going to look like. As I look down at the paper in front of you, there's an awful lot of names. Oh my goodness! Tell me a little bit about this roster and what you expect to bring out into tryouts, and then whittle down into a team and a D2 team.
Well, Scott, I'll tell you, the number I just showed you is 120, and that is how many players we have registered for tryouts right now. I wouldn't be surprised we get another 5, 6, 7, 8 kids that sign up before Thursday. So, I mean, in my opinion, we're back. We're going to be in a very strong D1 team. We're going to have a very strong D2 team, and we had a club meeting earlier today, and I expressed to the guys that there's no reason that starting next year, we're also going to have a Division III team. And ASU will officially be the biggest hockey college in the country. Nobody will be able to say that they have an NCAA and 3 college club teams. So we're growing. We're excited. The skill level is through the roof. The number of players that want to be here is clearly through the roof. We're back. You know, the glory days that Coach Powers built it. We're coming back to them.
All right, I'm already excited. I haven't even got into the details with you yet, but. You know, when I looked at the way the program was building here, I saw it built when Coach Powers headed to the national championship level. Then I saw it go down a little bit, and when I saw the work that you put in. It's a tremendous amount of work to run this program. Tell me a little bit about what your summers are like and what your days are like right now as we're getting ready to start.
Well, I didn't have a summer. I'm a hockey nerd, if you don't already realize that, Scott. So I spent all summer in the rink. It's not all ASU stuff. Our program is very successful because the other people involved. Yeah, I do put my my mouth in there and I do put my foot in there, but I've got a lot of other people that help me too. And Coach Powers kind of built the program that it's not hard to, I didn't have to change anything. I just had to re-implement his ideals, and it's been working out great so far. Obviously, with all the kids excited and want to come out here, and yeah, I guess back to the summer part, it's not an option. You said it was a record today. I didn't even realize it. It was like 34 at Oceanside. It was beautiful. I don't know why people are complaining.
That's smoking like a true hockey man right there. All right, so I can officially call you the mystery man this year because everywhere I've been, all I get are questions about ASU and their program. I know nothing. You've kept it very close to the vest. I'm going to guess that there's going to be a lot of surprises when the season finally gets underway. So let's talk a little bit about the start of the season. How happy are you with what's going on right now? And I know you got a couple of weeks left before you really get into it, but how happy are you with what you see on paper?
I'm excited. This is the most excited I've been going into an ASU season. We have unbelievable high-level talent coming into play for us this year, and it's like I said earlier, it's going to filter down throughout the program. Our D2 team will be the top 4 in the region, no question. They should be with the number of guys. I'm looking at, well, I don't want to throw numbers up, but there's going to be a lot of guys from D1 last year that will be playing D2 this year, and there's a lot of guys coming in this year that are high-level D1 players. They're not just fill-in or middle-of-the-road type players. These are guys that are going to come in, make an impact right away.
All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to come right back, and we'll talk a little bit about the schedule. We talked about it a month ago or so when I had you on, but let's reinforce what's going to happen here early on because there's some big games coming up for you.
We start right away.
We'll be right back with Coach TAIT GREEN in just a minute.
Pre-game like a pro, post-game like a champion at College Bar and Grill. Located across the street from the iconic A Mountain and Sun Devil Stadium and a quick walk from Wells Fargo Arena, College Bar and Grill is your home for the best local craft beer, delicious creative cocktails, tasty food, and Tempe's best atmosphere for Arizona State athletics. College Bar and Grill. Pre-game like a pro, post-game like a champion. Online at ilovecollege.co.
All right, welcome back in, fans. As you can hear the excitement around me, as I made my way over to College Bar and Grill today, there was a massive group of yellow and gold and maroon and whatever colors you want to moving down the street. It's move-in week is done. It's orientation now, and then classes are about to start. Coach TAIT GREEN is back with me. When classes start here in the fall, it also means football season. It means hockey season because your club team is going to be starting here in less than a month, isn't it?
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling right now. Like you said, we've got tryouts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maroon and gold game Sunday, and then both teams are on the ice next Monday. Like practice starts, we get after it. By the second week of September, we've got UNLV coming into town. So we have no time to waste. We will go right from tryouts, right into getting our stuff together and preparing for UNLV.
I always like to revisit this because a lot of people that maybe don't follow ACHA hockey as closely as they should, they don't realize at the D1 level, it's about the competition, about who you play. It's about the wins that you get. That's how you set yourselves up to get into a national tournament. But I think I know you well enough to right now, it's also about where you seed yourself in the national tournament. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got to make sure early games like this, being prepared and being able to jump on teams right away, get a jump start in those standings. You know, it's harder to come back down the standings than it is to get up the standings. So we want to come out flying right from the start, take advantage of maybe people not really knowing who we are yet. You know, we struggled last year. I'm not going to lie. Nobody should be expecting too much from us. But we're going to come out swinging. I think people are going to see it's a different group this year, and there's a different sense of pride in our group this year. And you know, we want to take advantage of the early games, the big rivalry games. UNLV followed right up by U of A. You know, and U of A embarrassed us last year. We will not go through that again. I won't let that happen again. So we are, like I said, we had a great club meeting today, and I kind of gave it all to them right then. Like, let's have some pride in this, and let's get going right now. Congratulations on being at ASU. Welcome to your dorm. Now let's start skating.
I love it. That's a true hockey man, folks. Okay, I had a chance to visit about a month ago or so with your team president, Austin Palumbo. And if there's anybody that bleeds maroon and gold, it's Austin Palumbo. Tell me a little bit about how important he is in the fundraising part, in kind of leading the player end of things. But man, oh man, to have a kid like that step up and have pride in the program, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, Austin, he like you said, bleeds maroon and gold. He loves ASU. He loves our ACHA program. He's been part of it for a long time now, and he cares. You know, legitimately, he cares. He puts forth the effort. He's dived into things and gotten me information, or pushes on the information to not only just D1 guys, but D2. He's taken on the role of being an actual club president, overseeing all the club instead of just looking after the D1 team. He's done a good job to look after everybody, and as you know, that's real important to me. You know, I want this to be one club with two teams, but we all help each other. Okay,
I talked with not only Austin about it, but I also talked with people that said ASU is going to have a program that's going to be really good, and they want numbers to come out and watch. I mean, that's one of the things that kind of dropped last year and the year before, where you didn't have the fan support. What do you have to do to bring fan support back again into the Oceanside Ice Arena?
What do we have to do? Well, that's asking a lot of our big brother, the NCAA team, who probably gets a lot of the ASU hockey crowd. You know, there's the only thing we can do is work our tails off, be good kids on ice, off ice, on campus. We're going to create that environment by just being a good program. You know, we're going to win games. We're going to people around town will see that we're good kids. We'll be active in the community. That will bring fans.
Okay, I know you're not going to tell me who's on the roster yet because you don't know, and you're going to keep it all the way till Sunday. But tell me a little bit about your coaching staff. I know Chad Bailey moved on, and that's got to be a tough loss for you because Chad was your right-hand man last year, and the work that he put in. I joked with Austin Palumbo. I said, "You're going to get that Sparky tattoo on the bicep now?" So we got somebody to do that. But tell me a little about not only what Chad meant to your program, but who you got coming in to help you out this year.
Well, yeah, Chad was a big help to us last year. You know, he had the experience with the D1 team and was able to pass things on to us. He expressed to us at the beginning of the season like this was a step for him. He wants to go on and coach at bigger and better places. So we knew it was a one-year trial thing, and he helped us. He contributed. He did everything he could. We're grateful for that. Coming back this year now, Jim Nellis was my assistant, who I brought over from what's that purple school again over there? That one. You know what I'm right? Can't remember. He was an assistant over there, and he's come over here, worked with me last year. He's come back for this year. And then I just brought in another assistant, Austin Klein, who was working in the Northern Ontario Junior League. He has a specialty in strength and conditioning. So we're going to put him to work with our guys a lot on the off-ice side of it. But we're pretty confident in our staff. We got our feet wet last year. We got a good understanding, Jim and I did, of what we need to do different this year, what we need to be better at this year, and I think we're ready for it.
All right, I don't want to say that you really look for pride in your coaches, but I just watched Jim Nellis in here, and you cut his finger a little bit to see if there was any purple bleeding out of there. And it wasn't. It was all maroon and gold now, so you've got it done, don't you?
Oh, yeah. No, Jim bought in right away. He was done with that color, so never dealt with him.
All right. I know you won't tell me specific players, but tell me right now, as a coach, looking at it on paper, where do you think the strength of this team is going to lie?
You know what, believe it or not, considering we were probably the lowest scoring team in the country last year, you will see a tremendous difference in our team offensively. We brought guys in. We have guys that are in here right now that will score goals and will create offense, and that was a huge problem for us last year. And right from the top, our forward depth, our production depth is greatly improved. We will be a lot better there.
Coach, I appreciate your time. I know it's a very busy week for you. I'm going to be out to watch you guys a little bit this week and see that maroon and gold game on Sunday. Encourage everybody to come out, right? They can come out. It's open to the public. Fans can come on, get a glimpse of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, are you going to be out there doing maybe a song and dance or something? We can draw a crowd in.
Yeah, maybe I can do that. Yeah.
Put you up on the stage up there, and whatever it takes. Scott, thanks for your time. I appreciate you having me out.
Absolutely. We're going to bring in a couple of your players. Thanks for bringing them in. I know it's always tough to grab everybody and get them in, but it's always important to get a player's perspective too, so we'll talk to a couple of them. We'll be right back with your goaltender, Bronson Moore.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
All right, folks, welcome back into Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. We're still here at College Bar and Grill, our home away from home. We set a record today, 113 degrees or more. Last I heard it was 113. School's about to start. I got the goaltender with me from Arizona State's ACHA D1 team. Bronson Moore is with me. The Washington native, back down here in the desert. He was telling me he spent a little time in Minnesota, my old stomping ground, because his girlfriend is up there. So, first of all, Bronson, welcome in.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, so school's about to start, your sophomore year. Tell me, let's backtrack. Let's talk about your freshman year at ASU, not only on the ice but off the ice. What did you think of this campus, and what did it mean to be a Sun Devil?
Campus is unbelievable. I mean, even on the worst day, you walk outside, you're under the palm trees, and just kind of take a moment and go, you know, things aren't too bad. So definitely happy with campus. I love the school aspect side of it, and really happy I chose to come here. As far as hockey goes, we obviously didn't do as well as we wanted to do, but it was a good stepping stone year. We were a really young team, and we had some really good games with really good teams, and we played really good competition. So as far as that goes, we showed that we could compete and that we have it in us, but we want to take that next step this year for sure.
All right, I've been around the Desert Southwest checking out ACHA D1 teams. I went to Grand Canyon. I went down to Tucson. I went to Vegas for UNLV. Now I'm back with you guys. And the one thing that I put together after being here for 5 years doing this, I think this might be the best season of ACHA D1 hockey that the Desert Southwest has ever seen. Your thoughts?
Everybody's looking like they got better. I know U of A only graduated, I think, one guy, and I mean, they're only going to get better. We only got better. We added a lot of guys. GCU looks like they've added a good amount of guys, and they're going to be their first year in D1, and they'll probably be a really strong contender as well. UNLV is always going to be a good team. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good year of hockey out here.
For those that don't know, and I said this earlier to Coach, is that ACHA D1 level, what you have to do and to get into that national tournament is get a lot of wins, but you also need to get wins against quality opponents. So I'm guessing that as a goaltender, the more quality you can face, the better it makes you. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. You step up to the level you're challenged with.
Okay, so in the Desert Southwest, your goaltender spot is pretty stellar. I mean, everywhere I go, and we do a little thing, and I think you saw it last year. You maybe were one of our winners, but we have a thing called the Puck Stops Here that starts every week once the season starts. I focus on goaltenders and what they do. I come out and talk to you a little bit, and then try to get some highlights from some great saves. When I go around the Desert Southwest, it just keeps getting better and better. And it's from the professional level all the way down to the ACHA D1 level. The talent is so good. Is there any competition between goaltenders, or you just want to win games?
You know, we all know each other for the most part. I was actually talking to GCU's starter, Bear Bash, yesterday, and you know, we all kind of have that little rivalry, love-hate relationship, because goalies, we're not super like against each other, but it's fun to have that little kind of rivalry, like friendship rivalry, where we can really go at each other, and it's fun to always have like kind of that goalie battle, like the game within the game.
I know the coaches at every level want to start with their goaltender, right? They expect you to be the backstop, and then they want to build out. Coach Green was telling me that he thinks this year he's going to have a better offensive team. As a goaltender, you got to be going like, yes, more goals makes my job easier, correct?
It makes my job the same, but it makes the outcome of my job much easier.
Oh, very well said. All right, let's talk a little bit about goaltenders, because everybody knows, or at least there's a stigma about goaltenders, that you all have your own thing, right? You get a little work on your own a lot of the time in practice. You got to come mentally prepared. You're the backstop. What does Bronson Moore do that maybe other goaltenders don't do?
I get told I'm not weird. I find that's pretty weird of me. I don't know. I don't do really anything out of the ordinary or any weird routines. Nothing really pregame, just kind of warm up with the guys, play a little sewer, whatever. Roll out. Probably the craziest thing I'll do is have the trainer use the massage gun on me, but that's just because that thing's really sweet. Other than that, I don't do anything really out of the ordinary.
Okay, so growing up as a goaltender, first of all, when did you start playing goaltender? And when you started to play, did you have an idol or idols that you looked up to or tried to pattern your style after?
So I started when I think it was 8 years old. It was my second year at Mites. My first year, I didn't get to play at all, and I knew I kind of wanted to. But then my second year, our goalie had an asthma attack mid-game, and I went in. Okay. And then from then on out, him and I alternated every game. So I did that for, I think, another year, and then after that, it was all goalie after that. As far as an idol, I'm from Kennewick, Washington, so that's Tri-Cities, Washington. We have the Tri-City Americans in WHL, and we spoke about this last year, but I actually have pictures of myself and Carey Price. Yeah. When I was 8 and I think Carey was 17, he's in full goalie gear, I'm in full goalie gear, I'm on his shoulders. It's pretty cool. So I think definitely meeting him young and all the success that I've seen him have, it's pretty cool that was the guy that I was able to see and go, oh, I want to play goalie like he does, kind of thing.
All right, let's take a quick break. Let's come right back, and we'll do another quick segment. We'll talk a little bit about what you expect out of this team, because last year was a little disappointment, as we always talked about. I just saw Coach's roster. He's got 120 names on there. So yeah, so far, very good. We'll be right back with Bronson Moore to talk a little more ACHA Sun Devil hockey.
Hey, Michael here from M-Drive. My dad, a world-class scientist, actually made M-Drive for himself to stay active and continue enjoying life. And yes, M-Drive supports healthy testosterone, but it's so much more. M-Drive is the everyday supplement to fuel your drive with more energy and more strength. Listen, we'd love for you to try M-Drive too. Visit mdriveformen.com and we'll give you 20% off your first purchase. Just type in the code DRIVE at checkout. Refine your prime with M-Drive.
All right, welcome back in. I've got the goaltender still with me. He tried to sneak away, but I wouldn't let him. We're going to keep him around and talk a little bit more goaltending and ASU. So, spent your freshman year here. You told me a little bit about how great it was off the ice. Your team struggled a little bit, but a lot of it was growing pains. What did you see from your team as the season went on, and what do you think is going to happen after this tryout gets done with 120-plus players?
You know, I think last year we showed that we were resilient. We didn't get a lot of the outcomes we wanted, but our schedule's really tough. There's a lot of really good teams out here, and I think putting us against good competition every weekend, even if we weren't getting the win, we had some really close games, and I think this year we take that extra step, and now we're better. We've made that jump, and we'll have a lot different finishes this year.
You guys are the only school in the Desert Southwest that has an NCAA team, too. How important are they to your program, and do you have associations with those guys at all? Do you see them around? Do you have anything like that, or are you guys completely separate?
You don't see them too much. I actually met a couple of them this summer in Minnesota because a couple of them are up there. For the most part, I mean, when they're home, we're away. When they're away, we're home. So you don't really run into them that often. I mean, they made hockey huge here. People want to come here. They want to play hockey. People are starting to realize what a great hockey school Arizona State is, and that only helps us as well. And it's just cool to be a part of that, everything they're doing as well.
You know, do you remember Coach Powers' national championship win? Did it even sit on your radar, 5 years ago or 6 years ago when he got the national tournament?
No, I would have had no idea that, I knew Arizona State had a really good club team, and I just had no idea really that, I don't know, I wasn't really looking at any colleges at that point. I was just playing my minor hockey, and I was probably 15 at the time, so I had other things that I was trying to get into first.
All right, so you're officially a Sun Devil, have been for a year. I see the logo on you. Have you developed the Sun Devil rivalry for U of A and Grand Canyon. I couldn't even get your coach to say the word Grand Canyon. How big a rivalry is it getting to be?
It's fun. It's definitely big. I think the biggest thing is when we're at a game, the guys hate each other. Hands down, hate each other. And then after the game, like, I know a couple of the guys on U of A especially, and like we're all buddy after the game, and like everything's cool, and it's just kind of like just really good sportsmanship between the two. But as soon as we get on the ice, it's off, game off. And same way I feel like Grand Canyon looks at us as their top rival.
Right.
So we kind of get all of their hatred that way. We kind of don't see them as that because we have U of A and that's our number one. But it's going to develop, I think, this year that we play them a couple more times and that they're actually, our same level of competition now. I think that's going to play a big part in creating that bigger rivalry.
All right, let's talk about the school part of it. What are you studying here at ASU? What do you want to do when you're done?
So I'm in biomedical science right now, and I want to be an orthopedic surgeon, so I've got med school after this.
Good deal. I need some knees done. I'm just going to hang around until you get it all ready. How's that sound?
It'll be about 10 years. I'll let you know.
All right, so I know where my orthopedic surgeon's coming from down the road, folks, but all seriousness, there's a bunch of people trying out for this hockey team. I was amazed at all the people I've seen. When I was at Vegas last week and I watched their tryout, and they had like 30 guys just in tryout on the first day, I'm going like, what the heck happened? I look at coach's list, it's 120 and he expects more. How important is that to create that depth and competition for you guys to be better and to get to that national championship that you're after?
Anytime that you have depth as an issue, it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what we have. I wasn't here for conditioning camp, so I didn't get to skate with a lot of the new guys. But I know we have a lot of guys coming in from the North American League. Those guys are going to make an impact right away for sure. A couple other really good recruits that have come in, and I'm excited to see what they can do this year. And we're definitely going to be better, and it's going to be cool. Tate talked about, I don't know if he spoke with you about it, about potentially next year bringing in a third team, and that would just be great for our association as the ACHA. It's great for ASU that we would have 4 teams, and Tate spoke about it earlier. We don't have any. There's no other school in the country that has four levels of hockey that they can offer. So ASU is becoming that that hockey destination that we want it to be.
I've been in your locker room. You can't get 120 guys in that locker room. You going to have guys dressing in the parking lot, or what's going to happen here?
Oh, I hope not. My stuff's in the room. That's all I'm worried about. As long as it's in the air conditioning, I'm cool.
All right, Bronson Moore, thanks for sitting in with us. Good luck this year on and off the ice. Continue to wear that maroon and gold proudly. And I can't wait to see you guys in the maroon and gold game on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you there.
All right, welcome back in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. It's another hockey talk in the Desert Southwest. We're talking ACHA D1 hockey. I've been around the valley. I've been around the state. I've been into Nevada. The last 3 weeks, I've been to Grand Canyon. I've been to U of A. I've been to UNLV. Now I'm back here in the home of the maroon and gold, ASU. We're at College Bar, our home away from home, and we're here. John Studioso is with me. I got it right, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
All right. Defenseman, sophomore defenseman at ASU. So first of all, welcome in, John.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You were telling me you're from Washington State, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's 113 today or more. We broke a record. You're a little bit adapted to it because you've been here for a year, but what do you think about the Desert Southwest?
It's a big change from home for sure. I mean, I just came from the rain, so it's hard to adapt, but last year helped a lot, so I'm kind of used to it now, but not fully.
I grew up in northern Minnesota, right? And every time I get over to your home ice at Oceanside, I can't believe how cold that rink is. I was there at Christmas time, and there hadn't been any ice on it or players on it for a little while. I swear it was 20 degrees inside that building. Are you impressed with how cold the ice is at Oceanside?
Yeah, it's pretty cold. I mean, last 2 years ago, I played in North Iowa, and that was pretty cold too. I would say that was colder than here. But yeah, it's really cold in there. I don't know how they keep it, but they do, for sure.
All right, let's talk a little ACHA hockey here in the Desert Southwest. I said when I looked at the 4 teams this year that you guys might be the well, I don't think might. I think you guys are the 4 best teams I've ever seen in the Desert Southwest, in this proximity anyway. And you're adding Grand Canyon as a D1 team. How important does that strength of opponents mean to your success?
I think it just really improves like the overall compete level that it'll take to get to the next level. I mean, we're all out there trying, and it's a big step for the program, big step for the league to have another a team like Grand Canyon in there, and it'll just really improve us as a team and as a club, for sure.
For people that don't know a lot about club hockey, I always like to revisit it, but you guys are student athletes. You got to go to school. But it's a little different. You got nobody paying for your schooling or paying for your hockey. You got to pay for that. You got to do fundraisers. You got to do all that stuff. How does that work? Are you happy with that situation? Are things going well here?
Yeah, for me it's been fun. I mean, it's been easy. Not easy, but it's been adaptable. I've had to balance the load of school and hockey and other outside activities, but it's been pretty easy for me. I mean, I've been traveling all my life playing hockey, so the school and hockey load hasn't been too big of a change. So it's been all right.
I heard a rumor that you got somebody coming in that you know pretty well this year. Give me a little insight into that.
Yeah, my cousin's coming. He's coming to play for the team this year. I played with him a little bit in North Iowa for the Bulls. I was only there a short time, but he was there for 3 years. That's in NA3. And, yeah, he'll really add strength to our forwards this year on and off the ice. He's a good player, very good player.
Are you a little surprised that you're going to have 120-plus guys trying out for hockey here at ASU?
Yeah, last year when I came, it was like barely making 2 teams, and now this year there's more than 6 teams worth of tryout kids. So it's going to be a lot harder to make the team this year than last year for sure.
I joked a little bit with your fellow Washingtonite in goaltender Bronson Moore when I said, I've been in your locker room, and I don't think you can get 120 people in there. Oh. He told me that his stuff was in there, so he felt pretty comfortable. How about you?
Yeah, my stuff's back at home now, so I'm going to have to squeeze in there for sure.
It's all good, though, right? I mean, that competition just brings the best out in you. Last year, you guys had what we call a down year, and I know it didn't sit well. And I know as the season went on, you guys got better and better. It was probably just a little too late to make the push to the national tournament. I'm guessing that not only a trip there, but to win one is what's on your mind as well this year.
Yeah, that would be great. Last year was a slump year, and I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. But this year, we were going to add depth for sure, and more guys. With more guys, there's going to be more compete out of everyone else, so that'll help improve the roster for sure.
All right, let's take a quick break. Let's come right back with John Studioso and talk a little more Arizona State ACHA D1 hockey. All right, welcome back in, folks. I kept this guy around, too. We usually do one segment, but we're having so much fun talking hockey. John Studioso is with me again, sophomore defenseman here at Arizona State on the ACHA D1 team. John, we talked a little bit about the growth of the program, the number of players. We talked about your competition. Let's talk about you a little bit. When did you start playing? When did you know you wanted to be a hockey player, and did you always play defense?
So I started around the age of 4. 4 years old, I started skating. I started as a goaltender, actually. I played goalie until I was about 8 or 9 years old, and then I moved out to skate. And then ever since then, I played defense. I started back at home in Seattle Junior Hockey Association, and then I moved to Everett for the Junior Silvertips. And then I moved away 2 years ago to play in North Iowa in the NA3HL. And then now I'm here.
All right, so goaltender usually has one mentality. Defense has got a little different. What's your style defensively? What do you like to do on the ice?
I'm not a big physical guy. I'm a smaller guy on the ice, so I'm more get in there with my stick. That's the biggest weapon. That's my biggest weapon for sure. And I just kind of try to play smart, play under the radar a little bit, make plays, and works out usually. So
I know when you talk to coaches at any level, they'll tell me that they want to start with a goaltender, but probably their second most important thing is they want to have good, solid defense. They don't want to let in any goals, and if their offense can score goals, there's your answer to a win, right? What's the style for defense as a whole at Arizona State ACHA D1?
Definitely just a puck out mentality. That's how I play, and that's how we all play. We just try to get pucks out, let the forwards go to work. It's the best way to do it.
Talk about Coach Green, and you had him last year, and he was kind of transitioning a little bit himself from the D2 level to the D1. What's it been like to play for him, and what do you expect it's going to be like to play for him this year?
It was good playing for him last year. I enjoyed it a lot. He helped me a lot with my transitioning from 18U hockey to playing collegiate hockey, and this year I think he's improved himself from last year, coming from the D2 level to the D1 level, and now he's got 1 year under his belt, so he knows what to expect. And this year I think he'll just step it up to a whole nother level.
All right, so tell people out there how good ACHA D1 hockey is. You played at a junior level. How good is this hockey?
It's a lot better than I expected it to be. When I came to tryouts, I wasn't really know what to expect, and then when we go down to U of A or UNLV, it's a whole nother level. Playing juniors and playing that, they're pretty comparable, but I'd say this ACHA is nothing to look down on. It's competitive.
All right, I know in the past it's been difficult to draw fans just because there's an NCAA team here. So I'm going to give you a chance to tell Sun Devil fans, there's a lot of students here. Why should they come out and see you guys this year? What are they going to see when they do come out?
I mean, hockey's always fun to come watch. I enjoy it myself. A lot of people I talk to enjoy watching hockey no matter what level it is. They all say they like the fights, but obviously there's no fighting in college. But there is scuffles and there's scums in front of the net, so those are always fun. Big heads.
All right, when we talk about how good the level is, I don't know if you're aware of this, but UNLV sent a player to France to play a professional in Cody Williams. And I know that there's opportunities for people that play ACHA hockey, Cody being just one of them, but do you see that as a possibility for your guys as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anybody can do anything, and going overseas or going anywhere after ACHA is a good route for anybody who wants to keep continuing their hockey career. I see it in my future, possibly. I'm not sure yet. Obviously, I got a couple more years to go, but that would be a good route that I would like to take myself.
All right, let's talk about you as the student part of the student athlete. What are you studying here at ASU? What do you want to do when you're all done with your degree?
My major right now is accounting in the WP School of Business, WP Carey School of Business. I was an engineering major last year, but decided that wasn't for me, so I changed it for this year and for the years on. And then I'm not really sure what I want to do after school, but still young, still a lot of time to figure it out, and we'll just see where it takes me.
Very good. John Studioso, I appreciate your time. Your cousin's going to be here. We look forward to seeing him on the ice. I'm going to be out Sunday to see you guys in your maroon and gold game. So give us a show and have a good season both on and off the ice.
Will do. Thank you. Go Devils.
All right, welcome back in, hockey fans. I know you know this guy because he's our staff photographer. He's been running the camera for me tonight. He's an ASU alum, so I had to bring him in to get his opinion on a bunch of different things. But ZAC Bondurant, welcome in. Thanks for coming in on short notice again and helping me out. You always step up whenever I ask.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's exciting. The season's getting pretty close, and the students look like they're back, so it's coming into full swing.
All right, I spent the last month, including right now, talking to ACHA D1. I think for good reason, because I can't believe just how much talent there is here. When I started this 5 years ago, there were teams that could barely get enough guys to play. And now all of a sudden, there's teams that everywhere I go, they talk about depth, right? We've got depth this year at Grand Canyon. We've got depth at U of A. We've got depth at UNLV. We certainly have depth here at ASU. I know you've heard a little bit of the conversation from behind the camera. What's your thought on the ACHA program and the growth here with 120-plus players trying out?
that's insane. I mean, 120 plus players, that's enough for quite a few full squads, but I mean, that just shows how big the program's getting. And I mean, the fact that NAU is coming up to ACHA D1 and then now Grand Canyon, it just shows the competition that's growing here in Arizona. And I think it's going to be, I think they're going to have a really good year. There's 120 players. That's a lot of talented kids to pick from.
All right, I got to ask, you got your lens ready? Because there's going to be a lot of photos to take. You're going to have quite a portfolio for us by the time this one's done, I got a feeling.
Yeah, I'm very excited, especially after the performance in China. I mean, Mercyhurst, October 5th. I've got that circled on my calendar. I'm ready to go. So, yeah, it's going to be a great season. I'm excited.
So everybody tells me at the NCAA level, tone it down, don't get too excited, don't get too worked up. You know me well enough by now that I kind of get worked up, right? So I joked with the sports information director, Mitch Terrell, today. I said, too early to start posting a magic number of 24? He frowned at me.
It's never too early, right? Think ahead, kind of project ahead, know what you're in for, know what you have to do, know what you have to perform. I mean, I looked at the schedule, and I may be being optimistic, but maybe 27. I think there's 27 possible wins on this schedule, so we'll see. But no, I think you're right in this universe on just getting because you're so excited, and I think we're all ready to go. So,
all right, my podcast partner Paul Hornstein always tells me the magic number is 1. It's always the next game. Okay, I realize that you got to win the first one before you can win the second, the third, and all of that. But last year I said the winners were going to make 22, I think, 22 or 23 to get in, and they got into the NCAA tournament. This year I think it's going to require 24 or more, only because when I look at the schedule on paper, I don't think that there's enough quality on paper to sneak them in at 22 this year. Your thoughts?
I think you might be right. I mean, the first half of last season started out with like Ohio State, Nebraska, Omaha. I think we had 4 games with them in the beginning. I mean, it was a stacked schedule in the first half. So it's still, you never take anyone light, and you never know. Some of these teams that may not be traditionally very good could have a stellar year, and that could boost up the schedule toughness at the end. But I mean, 24 I think is a good number, a good pick. But yeah, 22, they might be just on the skin of their teeth with that one. So.
Well, and the other thing is they end the season this year a week earlier than last year, and they're going to end it at Wisconsin, which might be one of the best NCAA college hockey teams in the country by the time it's all said and done with their talent. They've got draft choices around the horn. They got all kinds of people. So your thoughts on what they have to do to compete and all the way to the very end of the season?
Yeah, stay disciplined through those last 2 games with Wisconsin. That's a real tough squad, and the Big Ten is no pushover this year. It's Penn State, you got Ohio State's coming back strong, Wisconsin, Notre Dame is always a solid program. So just keep that consistency, keep your head down, push through the end of the season. And I think last year when they ended it in Minnesota, they kind of got shook a little bit. So this year I think Powers is going to have them real focused all the way in and really tighten down.
I know things were kind of, I don't want to say secretive, but hard to get information from the trip to China. I know the guys had a really good time over there. They had a real good cultural experience. They went 4-0-1 though, and I don't care if the competition maybe isn't the best. Anytime you win a tournament at any level, we got to say these guys are playing against professionals, right? So 4-0-1 is pretty impressive. Is that, in your estimation, going to help them with this start, or is that something that may be a drag because the season started so early?
I think it'll help. I mean, starting early is never going to be an issue. I don't think anybody got really banged up over there. I think everyone came back fine, and it's just extra time under the belt. You got the freshmen who got time in, and then Coach Powers mixed up the lines, and some of the chemistry really worked out. And I don't think it'll hurt them. I don't think it could ever hurt them. And like you said, these are pro guys. These are guys they're grown men, and they performed phenomenal. So I think it'll be a good boost for them, and they're gonna have that confidence and come into the season just ready to prove that they're here and they're booking their tickets to Detroit.
Well, I started that early. I also want to talk a little bit about Johnny Walker. How can we not talk about Johnny Walker, right? I mean, he had a great season last year. Probably should have been a Hobie Baker finalist had he not gotten hurt at the end. Yeah. Looks like he's already started off quickly. He's got, what did I say, 7 goals in 5 games in China or some ridiculous number, including a natural hat trick in the last game. Your thoughts on Johnny? Is he the real deal this year?
I mean, I think it was the real deal last year, but yeah, I think he's gonna. I think he was with Como he was getting some time with Como, and he's just a natural passer, so they're just gonna complement each other. But yeah, I think Johnny Walker, I think he's ready to come in. I think being left off of that Hobie Baker, I'm sure it's not in the forefront. He's not thinking that. He wants, you know, like Paul says, number one, he wants championship. Let's get championship. So, but I think he's a little bummed that the Hobie wasn't even in talks. So, yeah, I think he's going to come in ready to really set the world on fire, and I don't doubt that he won't do it. I think he's got it in him.
All right. So, in addition to what they have on the ice, talent-wise, coming back, they added 9 new players. A couple of them may be red shirts. They also picked up a transfer recently from Boston College who's going to sit out this year for transfer rules, but will be around the program, will be able to practice, just not play. To me, that depth is something that Coach Powers hasn't had until this year. How important is that going to be to create better players?
I mean, depth is going to be, if the guy behind you is gunning for your spot, or if you're thinking he could play in your spot, that's going to make you play harder. So this is going to be a real solid team for years to come, and that depth is just building and creating even more of a situation where Coach Powers is going to have some sleepless nights, you know. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing for a coach to have that problem. And I'm really excited to see all these kids coming in, and we're getting transfers from historical schools like BU and BC and Michigan, and that speaks volumes to what we offer here. So,
all right, let's wrap it up by talking goaltender, because I know we were all a little bit worried about Joey DeCourt taking that next step and what's going to happen to the program now. And what we saw in China, I don't think it's any secret at this point that Evan DeBrouwer didn't make the trip. Wasn't academic. It was not discipline. It was an issue with a passport and getting there. He probably could have got there, but it would have been difficult getting back. So it was sad for Evan on that part, because it was a big trip to have to miss. Yeah. But the 2 guys that played, Justin Robbins and Mr. Prodzic, were fantastic. Yeah. How do you feel right now inside? Do you feel comfortable with the goaltenders?
Yeah, it's solid. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I really didn't know what to think when DeBrouwer wasn't there. I thought, oh no, but then it came back as, you know what, nothing bad, right? Simple. So again, that depth. Now you're looking at 3 goalies, and where do you start? You know, who do you start? And I mean, the 2 goalies have got a little bit of a jump on DeBrouwer, but he's been around the program already. He kind of knows the drill. He knows the players. So it'll be interesting. I think the net's up for grabs, and we'll see who can take it and own it.
All right. I'm sure as a photographer, you're thinking goaltenders, great shots. Joey was a lot of fun to get. We've revisited this many times, talked about how fun it was to watch him play the puck and to celebrate. Are you looking for one of these guys to bring some style so you get some really good shots?
Yeah, let's get some flair out there. I'm ready for it. I mean, if you can, anything like Joey, we're in for one heck of a treat this year. So especially now we got 3 guys that can play. So it'll be a good year, and yeah, I'm excited to see him and get him in net and build that portfolio of those goalies.
All right, I can just tell by the look on your face that Sun Devil hockey is in your blood already. Yeah. You can't wait to get started like the rest of us can't. So, ZAC Bondurant, thanks for stepping in. Can't wait to see what you produce behind the lens once the season gets rolling. And we're looking forward to a great season here at not only College Hockey Southwest Weekly, which, by the way, is a brand now for NCAA hockey. So if you're looking to find us, you want to go there and find all the NCAA stuff, but you'll also be able to get some shots for us on ACHA stuff as well. So it'll be an exciting time for us, and it gets started less than a month.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to be back at the rink, and when winter comes, I have my my little hot hands ready to go. So yeah, I'm excited. I've been waiting for hockey season since it ended last year.
All right, we'll be right back. Wrap things up here from College Bar and Grill on another Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. All right, welcome back in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. Another Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest is in the books. We're talking all ASU. We were talking all ASU today. Maroon and gold, a little bit of black, a little pitchfork, a little sparky, you name it, right here from College Bar and Grill and in the heart of the campus on College and 5th, right across the street from Sun Devil Stadium. It's always a thrill to come here, especially early in the year, because you can see all the fans are excited, all the students are excited. It's a new year, it's a new belief, but this year might be the best year in ACHA D1 hockey that I've ever experienced because of the talent, not only here at ASU, but across the board at Grand Canyon, at U of A, at UNLV. The beauty of it is the numbers are increasing, which tells you when you have good numbers, you got better competition, you got better players, you make it a lot more exciting. So we're looking forward to a really, really exciting season here at IcetimeHockeySW.com. We did touch a little bit about the NCAA program over at ASU as well. We expect big things from them as they continue to push forward. Last year they made their first trip to an NCAA tournament. This year I believe, folks, that they may be Frozen Four bound, and I'm going to step up and say that they are going to be a team to beat if you want to win a national championship. And how great would that be to have a national championship from down here in the Desert Southwest. 113 degrees outside. I'm still sweating. I can't wait to get into Oceanside Ice Arena, which is going to be about 34 degrees, I understand right now. I want to thank our guest tonight, TAIT GREEN, the head coach from Arizona State, gracious enough to step in, and not only that, but bring us two of his players. He brought us his goaltender, Bronson, a sophomore goaltender who's one of the best in the country as well. He also brought in John Studioso, a sophomore defenseman as well. But more importantly, he brought us that list of 120 players trying out for his roster. I have no idea where these guys are going to get put. I don't know any facility that can put 120 players in a locker room to get dressed, but we're going to find out because they go on the ice, I believe, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then do, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and do a maroon and gold game on Sunday, which I'm really looking forward to. Thank everybody for stepping in. I definitely want to thank our sponsors. You can see our M-Drive guys in front stepped up with a new water bottle for us. Really like that. Like the M-Drive product as ours. Of course, OxyPower is ours there for us, getting the stink out of everything and producing what we need to do everything that we do here. Great with our swag bags. I do want to mention that they're going to again be on board for our Fantastic Fridays, which just started the second weekend in September, I believe. So we'll have that rolling as well. And of course, I got to thank the guys here at College Bar and Grill. It's really exciting now because the fans, the students, people are starting to show up. You can hear it in the background, folks. It is a crazy environment here, and thanks a lot to the guys at College Bar and Grill for bringing us in. So until next week, I'm Scott Strande saying, watch hockey, and let's take our new motto that I'm going to throw out for this year after every show. Let's shoot pucks, not people. I'm tired of seeing violence. I'm seeing people dying. I don't want to see that anymore, people. Shoot pucks, not people.